Hello children, this is your Rupa madam, chemistry faculty once again with you with your topic optical isomerism. Now today we are going to discuss optical isomerism. It is an important topic in organic chemistry where we discuss lot in biomolecules. Okay, biomolecules. It is one type of isomerism. In biomolecules, you come across by amino acids, which are the building units of proteins, and starch, cellulose, or you can take any fibers. Okay, fructans like fibers. These are made up of what sugar molecules. So sugar molecules, amino acids, they are examples of the best examples of chiral centers. So in amino acids, you know that except glycine, all the amino acids are chiral. All are existing as optical isomers. All are existing as optical isomers. Okay, so now we'll discuss today what is this optical activity or optical isomers. Here say the name, here this name indicates optical, optical, something, the name indicates that something related to vision. Okay, vision, because you know that ophthalmic means ophthalmic doctor means a person or a physician doctor who deals with the treatment of eyes, eye vision. So here say optical means it is lens vision. So vision is depends on what light. Okay, so simply remember anything which is related to optical means it is related to light. So here you need a type of light. So here this means optical isomers have certain effect on the light. So we'll see what is that light. And first of all, you should know what are optical isomers. Optical isomers. When isomers are classified, okay, classified, you'll have two types of isomers. Generally, what isomer? Isomers means what? Two or more compounds having the same molecular formula, but their chemical and physical properties will be different. Means simple. Isomerism means what? Same molecular formula, different properties. So the reason for the difference in the properties may be due to structure. Then they are called as structural isomers. But some are the structure is same. The structure is same, like your hands. Like your hands. See here, the right hand configuration means the whatever fingers are present in the right hand, same are present in the left hand. Means the structure is same, but they are different. Right is right, left is left. Okay. So here the structure is same, but connections are different in the space. Okay, in the space means the space around this hand. Okay, in the space the arrangement of fingers is different. See this? That okay, the thumb is towards opposite direction. Okay, his fingers are toward the opposite direction. So though the structure connections are same, but the orientation means arrangement of groups or atoms in a molecule is in different in a 3D space. That is a stereo. 3D space is called as stereo. So stereoisomers. And in the stereoisomers, once again, you have two types of isomers. One is conformational, 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 which is shown by alkanes and their derivatives. What is alkanes? The alkenic hydrocarbon which contain the CC single bonds. Okay, so CC single bond is what? Easily rotatable. The single bond is what? Easily rotatable. By rotation of single bond, alkanes and the derivatives arrange in different structures. In the arrangement will be different in space. So due to rotations of C single bond, the different structures are produced. They are called as rotamers and conformers, and that is conformational isomerism, which is shown by alkanes and their derivatives. Means there must be CC single bond. Means carbon is a sp3 carbon. Leave it. The next, so here it is one of the type of stereoisomerism. In stereoisomerism, one is conformation. The second is configurational. The second is configurational. So see here, it is one of the configurational isomerism. In which configuration you will have the one is geometrical, the second one is optical isomerism. where geometrical isomerism is shown by the alkenes and their derivatives, where the optical isomerism is shown by the any molecule. See here, I won't say it is sp3 because we start with the sp3 carbon. We start with sp3 carbon, that is tetrahedral carbon, but we have so many examples where you take the sp2 carbon also, like allenes exhibit optical activity, alkylidines exhibit optical activity, biphenols also exhibit optical activity, special cases. Okay, so here there is an sp3 carbon is not much needed. What is needed here? The need is what? Chirality, chirality or chiral center, asymmetric center. Okay, so means here what is this chirality or chiral center? We are going to learn. So remember, optical isomers are one of the configurational, okay, configurational isomerism. It is one of the configurational isomerism, and this configurational isomerism is one of the stereo isomerism. Okay, stereo isomerism means if you take two molecules, both will have same molecular formula, same structure, but differ in the arrangement of groups in the space. Okay, then arrangement is called configurational. So in future you are going to learn D configuration, L configuration, R configuration, S configuration. So here once again same, the molecular formula is the same, structure is same, connectivity is same, but different in the configuration, arrangement in the space is different. And because of this different arrangements, they have the single molecule exists in two different isomers, and if they have effect on light, if they have effect on light, they're called as optical isomers. So we'll see what is that light. What is that light? So on what type of light these optical isomers show their effect? So here the very first word is what? PPL. Okay, see here PPL. The PPL means plane polarized light. Okay, so what is plane polarized light? See here, if you take an ordinary bulb, okay, if you observe the ordinary bulb, from the bulb, what you see that the light rays, okay, the light rays are spreading in all the directions, okay, uniformly from the light, okay, bulb, or if you take example sunlight also. So from the sun or bulb, what do you observe that the ordinary light moves in all the direction. But if you allow this ordinary light to pass through the pass through the prism. Okay, prism means what? Which grades the, okay, which diffracts the light. Okay, so generally what is this one? It is called as polarizer. This prism works as what? Polarizer. Okay, and this prism is made up of what is calcium carbonate. Okay, calcium carbonate also called as calcite, and this prism is called Nicol prism. So when this ordinary light passes through this Nicol prism, okay, then what happens? All these rays, okay, the normal light rays which are propagating, moving in all the direction. Now this prism makes all the light rays to move in single direction, in a single plane. Such light is called as a plane polarized light. Means when this ordinary light passes through this prism, so all these rays will move in a single direction. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 I have taken. So all these 9 will move in same direction. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So since this prism made the ordinary light to move in a single plane, now this light is called as a plane polarized light. Understand? It is plane polarized light. So our optical isomer must have its effect on this plane polarized light. Means the optical isomer do not have any effect on ordinary light. It will have effect on plane polarized light. Okay. So here, what is that? Here see, Now want some space. You understand what is this? Optical. Okay, what is this? Plane polarized light. Now we'll go for the, okay, optically active. Optically active, optical activity, then chiral center. See, generally for the chiral center or asymmetric center, we take an sp3 carbon. See here, an sp3 carbon, an sp3 carbon. Everyone knows an sp3 carbon means what? Its shape is, its shape is tetrahedral. It is tetrahedral. An sp3 carbon is tetrahedral in shape. Okay, and an sp3 carbon means what? It is having the four hybrid orbitals. Four hybrid orbitals, and everyone knows the basic of chemical bonding, that each hybrid orbital can form one sigma bond. So as the carbon is sp3, so therefore it is having four hybrid orbitals. So it can form four sigma bonds. Four sigma bonds. So see this example. See this example. See here in this. Now this black one is a carbon and white are hydrogen. So what is this molecule? Methane. It is a methane. Now the hydrogen always forms sigma, because pure s orbital always form a sigma. It is a truth. We have to accept it. Okay, because the s orbital is non-directional. Okay, symmetrical. So here around this carbon, there are four single bonds, and each single bond is a sigma bond. So this is what an example, methane. So it is methane, CH4. So around the carbon, four hydrogens are there, which are with four different sigma bonds. The shape is tetrahedral. Tetrahedral. So it is sp3 carbon. Now we want a chiral center. Chiral center. So if you see here, now for this methane, what is the center? This carbon is a center. This carbon is a center. Okay. Now if you cut this molecule, if you cut this molecule into two halves, so what do you get? Okay, two halves. What is that? You will get two hydrogens one side, two hydrogens other side. Means still the molecule is symmetrical. It is having plane of symmetry, axis of symmetry. Or replace. Now replace one of the hydrogen with any other group. Okay, so from the methane, I replaced with one of the hydrogen with the other. That is green, say chlorine something. Okay, chloromethane. Now here it is what? It is also tetrahedral, where three groups are same, one is odd. Then take one more. Once again, I have replaced one more hydrogen. So two hydrogens, then this green and yellow. Okay, green and yellow. And next, I have taken one more molecule, which is also what? The center is carbon. Okay, the black is carbon, around which the different color balls means groups are attached. These can be atoms in case of hydrogen halogens. It can be atom, or in case of hydroxy, amine, carboxylic acid or aldehyde groups, these balls represent groups. Okay, so around this carbon, which is having only single bonds, so which is having what? Four sigma bonds, means it is tetrahedral carbon, sp3 carbon. If it is any sp3 carbon, tetrahedral carbon attached with one, two, okay, two, three, four, four different groups, like all are different. Green is not orange. Okay, orange is not green or white or not yellow. All are different. Means A, B, C, D. So if any carbon is there, which is sp3, and if it is any sp3 carbon attached with four different groups by four sigma bonds like this, such molecule is called as chiral carbon. Such molecule is called as molecule carbon is called as chiral carbon, and such center of carbon is center of this molecule is called as chiral center. Chiral center or asymmetric center, and such molecules called as chiral molecules. So here these chiral molecules have effect on PPL, plane polarized light. Whereas here, just now you have seen different types of carbons. where sp3 carbon has all the 4 bonds identical. Then 3 are one type, 1 is another type. Then 2 are different types. But they won't show any effect on ppl, plain present. Only the carbon, sp3 carbon, which is having the 4 different groups attached with 4 different sigma bonds, is called chiral molecule or chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon, and this has its effect on plane polarized light. So what is this effect? Okay, and itself is called as optically active molecule. The chiral molecule itself is called as optically active. So wherever you see the carbon with 4 different groups is not only chiral carbon, chiral molecule, asymmetric molecule, it is optically active also. Why? Because it is having activity towards a light. Activity towards a light. So we'll see what this chiral molecule do to the plane polarized light. చూద్దాం ఏం జరగబోతుందో. Okay, so see here. Now our topic is what? Chiral carbon. So this is carbon. It is a carbon, and this is having what? It is having what? 4 bonds, and all the 4 bonds are what? Single bonds, means sp3 carbon. If it is attached with 4 different groups A, B, C, D, such carbon is called chiral center. So what is that? An sp3 carbon attached with 4 different groups. A is not equal to B, B is not equal to C, C is not equal to D. Such molecule is called chiral compound, and this molecule has effect on light. See here, what is that effect? Called as optical activity. So what is that? See. Now, just now I've seen that. We have seen that plane polarized light. So when, listen here, if you put this chiral compound, if you put the chiral compound in the path of, see, this is the plane polarized light. Okay, in this straight line, that is in single path, this ppl, plane polarized light, is moving. Okay, so if you put this chiral compound, chiral molecule in the path of in the moving direction of ppl, means without this molecule the light will move in this direction. ppl will move in this straight line. But once this chiral compound or chiral carbon containing any compound comes in path of ppl, plane polarized light, then what happens? The light will not move in a straight line. It will be disturbed from its path. Then the light will be moving towards the right side. Okay, will be moving towards the right side, or maybe towards the left side, but it won't move in the it's a straight line. So what is this molecule? This chiral molecule has ability, has capacity to change the direction of path of movement of this ppl, plane polarized light. So whenever the plane polarized light falls on the chiral molecule, or this chiral molecule comes in the path of ppl, then what happens? This chiral molecule changes the moving path of light. So if it is the molecule, if the chiral molecule rotating the light to the right side, is called as dextroisomer. It's called as dextroisomer, which is given by small d, or denoted by denoted by plus sign. Or if it is rotating the light to the left side, is called LEVO. In LEVO spelling LAEVO. LEVO, or small l, or given by negative sign. Okay, so this ability of a chiral molecule to change the direction of ppl to right side or left side itself is called as optical activity. Optical activity, and any chiral molecule is having effect on ppl light to change its direction is called optically active. Means optical active or chiral center, means both are same. Then why this chiral? Okay, why this chiral is named as asymmetric because in Latin the chiral means asymmetric. And what is asymmetric? Asymmetric means which is not symmetric. It is not symmetric. See here, see here. If you take this molecule, if you cut this molecule into two halves, you will get CH2, CH2. Okay, now, okay. Or if you put mirror in between this part, what happens? CH2, CH2. Two parts will be equal. But here, when you cut this molecule, okay, this chiral molecule into two halves, you will not get equal halves. One side you will having what? Green and white. Other side is yellow and orange. Means the two halves are not same. They are different. Means it is not symmetric. Means it is asymmetric. Means this molecule which is chiral, which is attached with this carbon attached with four different groups, is doesn't have any plane of symmetry or doesn't have any plane of axis of symmetry. Such is called as asymmetric. Okay, so now we understood what is plane polarized light, then optical activity, and next chiral centers. Okay, now we'll see examples. Now here see I have written meso compound racemic mixture. First of all, let me tell you one thing. Please put in your mind. The meso compound is single compound. Okay, it is a single molecule. It is a single molecule. Only one molecule which contain chiral centers. Listen carefully and note this point. Meso compound is a single molecule which contain chiral centers, but but it contain the plane of symmetry. It contain the plane of symmetry. So any molecule do not have any plane of symmetry, any axis symmetry is called asymmetric. Then asymmetric will have optical activity. Then it can exist as dextro or levo. But here the meso compound is what? It's only one molecule which is having what? Chiral center also. But due to plane of symmetry, it is optically inactive. Optically inactive. So it is one of the optically inactive configuration isomer or stereoisomer. So we can say that. What is stereoisomer? What is meso compound? It is one of the stereoisomer which is optically inactive though having the chiral centers. Though having the chiral centers. So though it is having chiral center, why it is optically inactive? Because of plane of symmetry. We'll see what happens now. And next, racemic mixture. Second is racemic mixture. The name itself indicates mixture. Mixture means what? It is more than one. So see here, it's a mixture of what? Equal proportions. Equal proportion means what? The contribution of two molecules is same. Means if 1 mole of dextro is present, then 1 mole of levo is present. Okay. So the equal moles of dextro and levo is present. So you can say equimolar mixture of dextro and levo. Levo isomers of same compound. For example, if you take lactic acid contains the chiral center. Because of chiral center, it exists in two isomers. One of the isomer of lactic acid can rotate the PPL to the right side. That is called D-lactic acid. And another isomer of lactic acid which is rotating the PPL, plane polarized light, to the left side is called levo. Okay, L-lactic acid. If you put all these two, okay, put the two lactic acids, that is dextrolactic acid, D-lactic acid and L-lactic acid together, then what happens? Since these are equal proportion, so the first 1 mole of dextro rotates to the right side. Then immediately what happens? In the mixture, another 1 mole is there, which is levo. So what is that? It will rotate the light to the what? Left side. Means by what angle the dextro light, okay, the dextro isomer is rotating the light to the right side. With the same angle, levo will rotate the light to the left side. So remember here, if the dextro is having the plus 52 degrees of optical rotation, the levo will have a minus 50 degrees. So what happens? Here since these dextro and levo are in equal proportion, or simply 50%, 50%, then what happens? Both are optically active individually, but in mixture, both are active. Due to their both activity, the mixture will become what? Optically inactive. Optically inactive. So, racemic mixture is what? A mixture of dextro and levo, which are equimolar, equal proportion, or 50% of dextro, 50% of levo. And each molecule is able to rotate the light, but in opposite direction. So therefore, the mutual cancellation takes place by the two molecules of the mixture. Therefore, the racemic mixture is what? It is what? Optically inactive. So both meso compound and racemic mixture, both are optically inactive. But remember, meso compound is only one compound, one molecule, where racemic mixture contains two molecules. Okay, two molecules of same compound. Okay, one is dextroisomer, other is a levo. Now we'll see the examples of the different chiral centers and examples of a different number of optical isomers. Okay, optical isomers. So see here, first I'll tell you how many types of optical isomers are possible. See here, optical isomers will be of two types. Optical isomers will be of two types. Say, one is enantiomers. One is enantiomers. Okay, which you can give as E, enantiomers. The second is, the next one is diastereomers. Okay, diastereomers. Okay, which you can give as a D. Or if you don't give E or D, chalta. So see here, what is this? See, both are chiral. Okay, diastereomers also chiral and enantiomers also chiral. Okay, and both are optically active. Both are optically active. Means diastereomers also can rotate the light to the left side or right side. What light? PPL. And enantiomers also can rotate the light to the right side or PPL. Same as diastereomers. But they are different. What is that? What is that? See here, how you define. You can say that the optical isomers which are not enantiomers are diastereomers. Itself is definition. Okay, because both contain chiral center, both contain optical activity. Okay, both contain optical activity, both are optically active. Okay, but the optical isomers which are not enantiomers are called as diastereomers. Diastereomers. Remember, it is a definition of diastereomers. And next, enantiomers will be of two types. Just now I told, that is, one is dextro, you can give by small d, or positive sign, which can rotate the plane polarized light to the right side. The next is levo. Okay, levo, which can be given by small l or negative, which can rotate the PPL, plane polarized light, to the left side. Left side. Okay, then next we know that if equimolar mixture of dextro and levo is a racemic mixture, and if it is a compound, single molecule contain chiral center, but due to plane of symmetry, what happens within the molecule? Its optical activity is compensated, cancelled within a molecule. Therefore, though it contains the chiral center, do not show any optical activity. So optically inactive is a meso compound. Okay. So now we'll see few examples. The very first one and simplest one is, lactic acid. Okay, lactic acid. Okay, lactic acid. This is what its IUPAC name is 2-amino propanoic acid. 2-amino propanoic acid. Okay, so prop means 3 carbons. In Fischer projection formula, see here, you have to write a cross-like structure. the vertical lines, okay, the vertical lines indicates that out of the 4 sigma bonds of sp3 carbon, these are 2 bonds which are pointing away to the observer. Okay, the vertical bonds are pointing away to the observer. Okay, చూసేవాడికి దూరంగా ఉన్నాయి. And horizontal bonds are pointing towards the observer. So see here, this is a tetrahedral. Now if you see, now I have hold like this. So whatever the bonds are present in my hand, they are away to the who is observing, okay, this video. So these are what? Vertical. And these 2 bonds, okay, these 2 bonds are towards the observer, viewers. So these are horizontal, which are away to the observer, they are vertical. So this is what? A molecule. In Fisher projection formula, we have to write molecule in 2D on the plane. Okay, it is Fisher projection formula, where this is called as tetrahedral 3D structure. Okay, 3D structure. So here in a line formula, we never write what carbons and hydrogen. Understood? So here see, this indicates always in Fisher projection formula, we have to write the carbon chain vertically. So here it contains 1, 2, 3 carbons. The top is carboxylic acid because propanoic acid. First carbon, second carbon. This is third carbon. And next on the second carbon, see this first and this second. On the second carbon there is amino group. Amino means NH2. Okay, NH2. And is anything left? Yes, left. This middle carbon, second carbon is what? Still required one bond, and that is satisfied by hydrogen. This is what? 2-amino propanoic acid. Now it is an example of chiral center. On the second carbon, hydrogen, carboxylic acid, NH2, CH3, 4 different groups are there. This is an example of a chiral center. So this is optically active. This can exist as a dextro and a levo. So how can you see that? If you put a mirror, in front of, okay, front of this molecule, what happens? You will get its mirror image. Like if you put your right hand in front of mirror, what do you see in the mirror? You will see your left hand. You will see your left hand. What do you see here? You put your right hand in front of a mirror, you will see its image as a left hand. So in the same way, when you put a chiral compound in front of a plane or a mirror, so what you see? Its mirror image. And if the actual molecule is a dextro, it is dextro, then its mirror image will be what? Levo. So what will be it is? Here you see NH2, this is COOH, this is CH3 and H. So here what? These two are what? Chiral centers. Because of their chiral asymmetric compounds, they are optically active. Means they are able to change the direction of a PPL, plane polarized light. So one towards the right side, dextro. Other one is towards the left side, that is called as levo. See here, we don't have any permission to theoretically say whether a compound given is dextro or levo. You have to check this optical activity in polarimeter machine. Okay, in polarimeter you have to observe, like your vehicle monitor will be there. On that meter you see that the pointer is moving, which explains it, represent the speed. So like that, in the polarimeter you see that one molecule is dextro, other molecule is a levo. So here these are 2 molecules and these have what relation? Mirror image relation. Okay, mirror image relations. Okay, so what are these now? These are optical isomers. These are optically active isomers. And if you see, these are having what relation? Mirror image relationship. So now we'll define the enantiomers. So see, what are enantiomers? The optical isomers or stereoisomers which have non-superimposable mirror image relationship. Now you understand? The enantiomers have mirror image relationship. Now what is this? Non-superimposable. See, impose means putting, petadam. Okay, putting, petadam, rakna. Okay, so here the right hand image is left hand. Okay, now if you impose the right hand on the left hand, See, one condition, you need not, you doesn't, okay, you need not to, or you never change the direction. Okay, don't tilt it, don't change it. As it is, how they are mirror images. Okay, as it is, take this right hand and put on the left molecule. Okay, left molecule, and see that is all the fingers are connecting same. No, here see the thumb of one hand, little finger, then here also same, only the king finger is matching. Okay, so see here, impose means putting one molecule on the other, one molecule on the other. So see, this is an example of enantiomers. These two are what? Mirror images. Could you see? These two are mirror images. And if you put one molecule on the other molecule, is called as imposing. On putting on each other without tilting, without changing. If you put one molecule on the other molecule, okay. If the same type of groups are connected, see here, the green is connecting with the orange, white is white, okay, chalta, then yellow is yellow. Here is once again what? Green and red. So the two groups are connecting, these two groups are connecting, but other two groups are not connecting. Okay, if they connect, exactly called as superimposable. But the enantiomers are what? These are non-superimposable, these are non-superimposable mirror images. Okay, so you can define as what? The optical isomers or stereoisomers which have non-superimposable mirror images are called as enantiomers, and the optical isomers which are not enantiomers are called as diastereomers. Okay, so now it is lactic acid. Now I'll take one more molecule, one more molecule. Okay, one more molecule. Okay, I'll take this time second molecule. Say this is glyceraldehyde. I'm changing the groups also. Glyceraldehyde. The name is glyceraldehyde. Say this is the water. It is the first carbohydrate. Aldose. Okay, aldose which contain 3 carbons. Aldehyde. So it contains water. CHO. I hope you all know that carbohydrates contain aldehydes with hydroxy groups. They called as aldoses. If they have a ketone with a hydroxy group, called as ketosis. So fructose is ketose, whereas glucose, mannose, galactose are aldose. So here see, here also it contains water, 3 carbons. Okay, it is something related to propane, 3 carbon. So see here, CHO, then it is CH2OH, and on the second carbon OH and H. Here also same, CHO, this is CH2OH. So if you see this molecule, it is what? 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons are there, and this compound is glyceraldehyde, which having the 2 hydroxy group. So means what is this compound? 2, 3. Okay, on the second carbon and third carbon having 2 hydroxy groups. Dihydroxy propanol, IUPAC name. Propanol because aldehyde. Okay, IUPAC name is 2, 3 dihydroxy propanol, where common name is glyceraldehyde. You know, the scientist Emil Fischer took this glyceraldehyde as the standard molecule, and based on this, he explained the DL notation, DL configuration of all the different molecules. So, according to Fischer, what is that? On the chiral center, see, this molecule contain the second carbon, means only one carbon is a chiral because the CHO is sp2, doesn't show chirality. Okay, but this is having what? 2 hydrogens, means non-chiral. So glyceraldehyde also, like lactic acid, contain one chiral center. So exist in one is dextro, other is in the levo. Okay, so luckily, what is that? According to Fischer protein formula, he took this glyceraldehyde on the chiral center. If the electronegative group like OH group, NH2 group is present at the right side, is given as a D configuration. Or if the electronegative group means OH group, NH2 group, cyanide group, if they are present on the horizontal bond at the left side, is given as a L configuration. So I'll write here. So by luckily, what is that? The D-glyceraldehyde of Emil Fischer is found to be dextro. Okay, that is D plus glyceraldehyde. D plus glyceraldehyde. Okay, and this one is what? L configuration, where which is a LIGO configuration. This capital D, capital L are arrangement of groups on the chiral center, where this plus and minus are dextro and LIGO optical activities. Okay, understand? So this plus indicates a small d, dextro rotation, where this negative indicates a small l, LIGO rotation. Whereas the capital D indicates arrangement of groups around this chiral center. That is different. So according to Emil Fischer, if the electronegative group on the horizontal bonds, which is connected to the chiral center, if it is at right side, D configuration. If it is left side, L configuration. So luckily, the D configuration glyceraldehyde found to be dextro, therefore D plus glyceraldehyde. And the negative LIGO is found to be L configuration. L configuration. Okay, so here these two are what? Chiral and mirror images which are non-superimposable. Therefore, they are what? Enantiomers. Okay, now here say for one carbon, if it is one chiral center is there, one chiral carbon is there, two isomers are possible. If more than one chiral center is there, you have a formula to calculate. Okay, formula to calculate. So see here the formula. We have different types of formulae, but we need a simple two formula. I'll give you now. Okay. Now the first one, I'll write number of write better stereoisomers. Number of stereoisomers. Okay. Number of stereoisomers. Okay. Isomers equal to 2 to the power small n. 2 to the power small n. Okay. 2 to the power small n. If it is, if all the chiral carbons, okay, if all the chiral carbons are different, chiral carbons are different, okay, then one more formula is there. The number of stereoisomers or you can say optical isomers, okay, stereoisomers is equal to 2 to the power n minus 1 if, okay, if the chiral centers are identical, the chiral centers are same, okay, and here only because of this same chiral centers you get a meso, you'll get a meso. So now we'll see the what is racemic mixture and meso isomers. Okay, so see here. Now the best example is tartaric acid. Okay, now take the next example is tartaric acid. This acid is found in tamarind. Tartaric acid. Okay, it is a dicarboxylic acid. 4 carbons containing. See here, the top is what? According to Fischer production formula, always the top carbon must be containing more oxygens. But here it is a tricarboxylic acid which contain both the corners are carboxylic groups, and here this molecule contain the two hydroxy groups. So first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. So here the second carbon and the third carbon both are chiral. These both are chiral. See here, means these carbons attached with 4 different groups. So for this second carbon, the first is COH, the next is OH. I'll write here OH, and this is H. The remaining fourth bond is this group. Okay, then third carbon also chiral. So here One group is what? COH. Then this is OH. The next is a H. And remaining is this. If you observe, the whatever groups are present to the second carbon are same to the third carbon. The total this group is what? Fourth bond to this carbon. And total this part of the group is the fourth bond to this second chiral carbon. Okay. So according to Emil Fischer, according to Fischer Precision formulae or Fischer DL notation, see that in glyceraldehyde luckily found to be one chiral center. One chiral center. If it is any optically active isomer contain the more than one chiral centers. So according to Fischer, it is given that out of the all the chiral centers, if the highest chiral center means this molecule contains two chiral centers from the top, first, second, third, fourth. So the second carbon is chiral, third carbon is a chiral. So this third carbon is called as highest chiral center because out of these two, second and third is highest chiral center. Okay. So on the highest chiral center, if electronegative group is present at the right side, is said to be D configuration. D configuration. Okay. So this is what D configuration tartaric acid. It is D configuration tartaric acid. Okay. And if it is, whether it is dextro or levo, we can't say. We should not say, because when you take this molecule and put in the polarimeter, then only you can say that whether it is dextro or levo. But you can say whether it is D configuration or L configuration. So when this is L configuration, its mirror image will be what? Definitely what? L configuration. This D may be dextro or levo, I don't know. Then its mirror image will be what? L configuration. Or you can say, if this is dextro, its mirror image is what? Levo. Or the first one is levo, the second is dextro. So dextro, levo we cannot say by seeing the molecule. It can be determined by experimentally by using polarimeter measure. Okay. So here its mirror image possibly is what? Possibly is what? Exactly COOH. Okay, don't ask me to write HOOC. Okay, if you like comedy, the group is like this only. So H is next. This is OH and this is OH. This is H and COOH. Okay, so the first one is D tartaric acid. Second is L configuration tartaric acid. But we are not supposed to say whether it is dextro or levo. Okay, now these two are what? Enantiomers. These are called as enantiomers. Okay, because these are optically active. Because of chiral centers, they have ability to rotate PPL, plane polarized light, to the right side or left side. If one rotates to the right side, other is left side. And such is called enantiomers. Take your right hand and left hand. And if you take this mixture in 1:1 proportion, then mixture is what? Optically inactive. The mixture of these two. You take in 1:1, one molecule of this one, other molecule of this one more. Or 50% of these molecules, 50% of these molecules. Then mixture will be what? Optically inactive. Optically inactive. Because the first half of the molecule direct the light to the right side or left side. Then second half will rotate to the opposite direction to the first one. Therefore, the mixture is optically inactive, which is mixture of two optically active enantiomers, which is racemic mixture. So, the mixture of 1 mole of D tartaric acid, 1 mole of L tartaric acid is called a racemic mixture. Now, here, how many chiral centers are there in this one? This molecule contains two chiral centers. 1, 2. Here also there 1, 2. So, here now we'll calculate the number of optical isomers. For the number of optical isomers, the formula is what? 2 to power n. So if you put here n equal to 2, n equal to 2. So how many isomers are possible? That is 2 to power 2 means 2 2s are 4 isomers are possible. But remember, this molecule exists in only 3 isomers. 3 isomers. Okay, 3 isomers means what is to be done? This formula is not applicable to this tartaric acid. not this tartaric acid or tartaric acid like molecules. Why? Because if you observe here, the first chiral center means second carbon and third carbon. Both are chiral carbons, but identical. Both are same because whatever groups are attached to the second carbon, same groups are attached to the third carbon also. So both chiral centers are same. Same. In this case, we have to use formula not 2 to the power n. We have to use 2 to the power 2 to the power n minus 1 formula. So what is that? Chiral centers are 2 because these are same identical chiral centers. So 2 to power 2 minus 1. What is that? 4 minus 1, you get 3 isomers. So you got here, one is D-tartaric acid, other is L-tartaric acid. I will go for what is that? Third isomer. So you are going to learn the third isomer, and this is what your favorite molecule, meso. Okay. So here see, COH as it is, no change here. Okay, no change here. Now see here, on the, see, the same molecule is there, connections will be same, but orientations are different because optical isomers are stereoisomers. So by changing the direction, okay, orientation of these groups, you change the on writing. Okay, when I wrote on the board, so how I wrote, I did not check in the polarimeter. I just change the positions of direction of this OH and H groups. So now this time we'll write here both the OH group at right side. Okay, then these are at left side. Now still, what is that? Both the carbons is second and third carbon. Both are chiral. See here, both are chiral. But what happens here? See, if you cut the molecule into two halves or put a plane mirror here, see the first half of the molecule is identical to the second half. Okay, means within the molecule it is having plane of symmetry. Okay, the first half is like a second half. A second half is like a first half. So due to this plane of symmetry, though having the two chiral centers, this molecule is optically inactive. And this is a single molecule. It is a single molecule, not mixture. And this molecule is called as a meso. It is called as a meso. It is called as a meso. Understand? It is called as a meso. If the first half, if the first half is rotating light to the right side, then it is dextro upper side. Then immediately its mirror image is what? Levo. So what happens within the molecule due to plane of symmetry, the mutual cancellation of optical activity takes place, and such isomer, such optical isomer is called meso compound. Okay, meso compound. So tartaric acid like compounds which contain the identical or same chiral centers, they have how many stereoisomers or optical isomers? 2 to the power n minus 1, in which 2 to the power n minus 1 optical isomers, then 1 will be meso isomer. Okay. So here now what are the diastereomers? So see this first molecule, second molecule. Okay, first molecule and second molecule, they are enantiomers. Then third molecule is what? Meso. Then what is the relation between the 1 and 3, 2 and 3? See, just now we have seen that the first and second molecule. Okay, the first molecule and second molecule are enantiomers because they are non-superimposable mirror images. Optically active, one is dextro, other is a leave. Then what about this relation between the first molecule and third molecule and second molecule and third molecule? See, all are chiral centers, all are same molecular formula, all are stereoisomers, all are optical isomers. But see, 1 and 3 means the D-tartaric acid and this meso, they are not enantiomers. You check, are they mirror images? No. Then this second molecule and third molecule also, they are not mirror images. Means what are these? These are called as non-enantiomeric optical isomers, which are called diastereomers. They are called as diastereomers. Okay. So for this, it is what? Meso compound, racemic mixture, optical activity. And next, chalte, one more I'll give you. Now you can change this molecule. For this, in place of tartaric acid, you can take one more molecule. which must have a identical two chiral centers that you can take is what? 2,3 dichlorobutane or 2,3 dibromobutane you can take. Okay, so which shows three optical isomers, three stereoisomers where 1 and 2 are, one is dextro, other is levo, the third one is a meso. Okay, you write the structures of the names which I told now. Now, fourth ఒక చిన్న star features వెళ్దాం. Okay, so see here. Here say if number of chiral carbons are equal to 2. Okay, so not equal to, if it is equal to 1. Now how many isomers are possible? Number of stereoisomers. Okay, and condition, what is that? These are different chiral centers. Okay, I'm writing for different only because you're going to learn this. If it is a n equal to 1 means the minimum number of carbons are 3. Definitely remember it is a 3 carbons. Okay, so here the formula is what? 2 to the power n. So how many isomers are possible? 2 to the power 1 means it is 2 isomers. One is dextro, other is a levo. So for this you can take a lactic acid, you can take a glyceraldehyde, etc. Okay, glyceraldehyde or alanine. Okay, alanine, serine, leucine, different types of amino acids you have except glycine. Okay, if two chiral centers and these are different. So if you are concerned with glucose molecules or means sugar molecules, so see here, if n equal to 2, 4 carbons are there. Okay, and such is called as tetros. They're called as tetros. Then 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 2 means totally 4 isomers are possible. So here see the C4. Okay, C4. So here 4 isomers are possible, out of which means these all contain the 4 carbons. Okay, C4H8O4. Okay, in this formula you have 2 chiral centers and you are going to get 4 isomers, out of which 2 are erythros and 2 are trios. The next, if it is 3 chiral centers are there in the carbohydrates, then means it is what? 5 carbons are there. Then 2 to the power 3, that is how many isomers? 2 to the power 3 means 6. How many? 8 into 2 into 2 into 2, 8 isomers. So out of 8, 4 are dextro, 4 are levo. Here also, out of 4, 2 are dextro, 2 are levo. Okay, so here to remember this, I'll give you one shortcut. Here see how to remember them. The first one is 4 carbons, C4H8O4, and here for 5 carbons, C5H10O5. Okay, now to remember this, see, I'll give you one hint. Rascal, RASCAL, rascal. So from here take RA and this pronounced as SCA, X and this is L. Ribose, arabinose, xylose, lixose. I hope you know that ribose sugar which is present in RNA and DNA, ribonucleic acids. Okay, the next, if it is 4 chiral centers where in carbohydrates you have 6 carbons. Okay, so your hero comes, what is that? Glucose. Glucose comes here. So see here 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 means what? 2 into 2 into 2, that is what? Equal to 16 isomers are possible. So out of 16 stereoisomers, 8 are dextro, other 8 are levo. So see, for this the general formula of this C6, what is that? 6 carbon containing hexose, 3 carbon triose, 4 carbon tetros, then 5 carbons pentose, 6 carbons hexose, 7 carbons heptose. So it is now 6 carbons hexose, C6H12O6. Okay, and to remember this, I'll give you one mnemonic like rascal. How you gave? How I gave? So see here, that is all althros. Okay, althros means what? Which don't have any work. Okay, all althros gladly made gum in galantines. Means what? The people or the guys who don't have any work, they made gum. Gum means glue in gallon tank. Gallon tank means big tank. అంటే పని పాట లేని వాళ్ళు ఖాళీ కూర్చోకుండా ఏం చేశారు, గెలన్ ట్యాంక్స్ లో గమ్ తయారు చేసి పెట్టారు. ఓకేనా? సో ఒక చిన్న నిమోని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఫ్రమ్ ఆల్ రిమెంబర్ అల్లోస్. ఓకే, ఫ్రమ్ గ్లాడ్లీ రిమెంబర్ గ్లూకోజ్. సో హియర్ totally how many? 16 isomers possible, out of which 8 are dextro, 8 are levo. So I'm going to give you 8 first, then its mirror image will be other one. Allose, and this is gladly. From this gladly, glucose. From the made, mannose. And um, from here gum take bullose. And here galantines. From here take gal, that is galactose. And this tanks, from tanks you take talose. I hope everyone knows that the saliva is sweet because of ptyalin enzyme. The ptyalin enzyme is carbohydrate, that is talose sugar. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and next it is althros. Okay, it is a althros sugar. Okay, allose 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and this is idose. 4 5 6 7, and this is idose. Okay, these are 8 sugars you have to remember. Okay, so if the first 8 is dextro, the other 8 will be levo. Okay, thank you.